Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and you're listening to Red 7 TV Podcast. I'm your host, Kyle, and today we have a very special guest all the way from the UK. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Tyro Portugal.
Everybody.
So, Mr. Tyro, are you a pure Filipino?
I am actually. My father and my mother are both Filipino, and they're born in Pampanga.
Pampanga.
Mhm.
So, can you speak Tagalog or Kapampangan?
So I can't. I can speak just a few words, but I can also understand Kapampangan because my mother she spoke so many words to me when I was growing up. So I understand fragments, and I'm able to push those words together and formulate a sentence in my mind and translate.
But you understand Kapampangan better than
Yes, I do.
Tagalog.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's very true.
Okay. So, how long were you in London? Are you in London your whole life?
Yes, I have been in London my whole life. I've been out of the country for traveling,
Yeah.
but just for a short time, short stays, 2 weeks, 1 month, but mostly in London. That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. What are the countries that you've been to already?
So I've been to Spain. I've been to Germany. I've been to France. I've been to the Philippines, of course.
Yeah.
And I've been to the Netherlands. I don't know if I've said that, but yeah, those are the countries I've been to. Yeah.
In Asia, you've only been to the Philippines.
Yes, I have. Yeah, that's
Oh,
correct.
okay. So, what are your hobbies?
So hobbies. Well, my hobbies are pretty much. I like to take pictures. I like to film videos. I like
Yeah.
to listen to music, and more so in the creative field.
Yeah.
So doing a light bit of marketing, social media marketing,
Social media.
but also more so the creative side. So video editing photos, and just making memes here and there.
Even making graphics like that.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Motion graphics and just still graphics. Yeah.
Can you walk us through about how you started working?
Oh, for sure.
Right.
So when I was a kid, I was extremely fascinated with still just graphics in general, digital graphics. Sorry. My tita Trudy, my auntie, she's living with us in London. Same with our grandma and my mother. So she has a computer. When I was really young, she had a computer, and I downloaded a Photoshop on that.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much the avenue, the gateway to the whole creative world. And I started pretty much just experimenting with still graphics, trying to do these little odd like kind of free work for friends. Like in video games, like I would be like a graphics like person that they would pay currency, digital,
Yes.
not real money currency, and just exchange for graphics work.
Yeah. For you, you have a creative mind because me, I also use those softwares, but I cannot create my own. I
Oh,
can
I
only
see.
edit. But how about you? Can you have a creative mind of doing, for an example, logos like that?
So there's a process to it. To develop that, I'd say it takes a lot of looking at other previous work. No, actually not even other previous work, others' work
Oh,
for creative
okay.
inspiration. So if you look at that and then you try to, say
It's like getting a concept out of that.
exactly,
Yeah,
you
okay.
try to kind of deconstruct it, and you try to find ways to make that same thing, but in an easier, way.
Oh, okay. Let's proceed to music. You like music, right?
Yes, I do.
So, what kind of music growing up do you listen to?
So there's a wide range of music, from electronic music to classical to hip hop, more so R&B, rap. Yeah.
Oh, okay. In the Philippines, we have traditional music. If you're familiar, in London, do they also have those kind of music?
So in London, traditional music, it would be more so to deal with faiths and cultures. So
Oh.
London being a multi-ethnic society, there's many different flavors, you can say flavors. But going back to the Filipino traditional, There's actually in my childhood, my family, we did this like kind of dancing in this dance troupe called Lahing Kaimangi. So it's Filipino traditional dancing. So I was exposed to that kind of traditional Filipino music, you know, and it's quite nice because I was appreciative of, you know, how the guitar was playing, how even with the tinikling, you know, the bamboos, that was you know, synchronous with like, you know, the beats to the music, and it would go faster, and then it's quite nice.
Let's proceed to sports, because there are sports here in the Philippines that are not available in the other countries. So let's first talk about sports in London. What are some famous sports that in London that you also do there?
So there's a wide variety there. For myself, I'm more so a watcher rather than a player. To be quite frank, because well, you can see, you can see, but
can you give for an example, football, right? Football is big in London.
Yes, it is. That's very true.
But you have tried playing.
Yes, I have also tried playing.
Okay.
It hasn't been my as you could say, my cup of tea.
Okay. Because in the Philippines, are you familiar with the local sports like sepak takraw, like that?
No, I'm not actually.
Oh, you're not?
No, I'm not at all.
It's like, for me, it's like tennis.
Oh, wow.
But you use your foot to kick the ball. But the concept is like tennis.
Okay.
There's a net, but instead of using a racket, you use your foot.
Wow.
Your feet to make a rally.
Yeah, of course.
Ball. And the ball is, I think, made of rattan.
Whoa.
You familiar with rattan?
Yeah.
Oh, that one. So what is your favorite thing about here in the Philippines?
Well, family, the culture, being in the motherland, essentially, right?
Yeah.
It feels like you know, being a somewhat balikbayan, it's you feel like, you know, there's something empty missing in your heart. It's especially when you've grown up. I'm 27, turning 28 in a few days. So it's quite hard for me to you know, keep going in life, to you know, not experience the motherland and, you know, live, work here, whatever. But, you know, I need that in my life. That's why I feel. Yeah.
Also in the Filipino culture, the most important thing about Filipinos are the food.
I have been enjoying the food a lot.
So you have tried every Filipino food?
Almost every.
I also heard that you've been cooking. What Filipino food do you like to cook the most?
So, well, I'd like to, because it's the easiest.
Yeah.
What was it again? Tinola.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have also tried sinigang.
Sinigang, of course. Sinigang babi.
Okay. I've heard that you worked in a vape shop.
Yes, I
there
did.
in London, because vaping had been popular also here in the Philippines, especially the mechanical mods.
Yeah.
Before, there are brands that are also importing in the US.
True.
Good brands like that. So, what can you say about the vape industry there compared to here?
So the UK, they do have some. No, it's not strange. It's more so regulatory for regulatory reasons. They do like kind of tighten the belt. Due to negative publicity and, you know, companies doing, you know, just unethical behaviors, pretty much, it has led to a lot of tightening of the belts. There's been many regulations, and compared to here, it's also feeling the effects. Like the Philippines is also feeling the effects as well. I'd say more of the Wild West.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, here, and actually almost everywhere else, because I'd say the UK likes to tighten the belt on, and actually penny watch. Like they actually like to watch where the money goes and all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about have you experienced flavor ban there?
So it's not so much the flavor ban. It's more so the capacity and the nicotine limit.
Oh.
So over there, as you would refer to it as percentage wise, it's 2% maximum, and you cannot have you can't have pre-mixed nicotine in containers over 10 milliliters. So the concept is you have one big. If you're vaping like a high VG, which is vegetable glycerin, and not equal parts, high VG to PG, propylene glycol. That one's more so comes in short filled bottles.
Yes.
So the bottles will be filled only short, and that will be accustomed to a nicotine shots, and then you pour in, your desired amount.
Yes.
Exactly. So that's the system there, and now that's under the Tobacco Products Directive.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard, because in the Philippines we've experienced a flavor ban here.
Yes, I've
For
seen
a
it.
short time.
Same with America as well.
Same with America.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
It ripples.
flavors are only menthol and tobacco. So strawberries, pineapple, it's been banned in the Philippines.
I think that's because of the appeal to kids, right?
Yeah.
To minors,
Yeah.
you can say.
Filipinos doesn't know much about British.
Right.
Maybe some, because they are researching, but it's different if we'll hear from someone who grew up
Who's
in the
been
UK.
there, exactly,
Yeah.
of course.
So as we all know, Filipinos know how to speak English, but the common English is the American accent. They are common with the British accent because of the movies, right? So can you tell us about the different British accents?
So there's quite a variety of British accents. If it depends on your upbringing. So if you were to grow up in a more so working class background, you would be situated in say public housing, or that's what the term is, public housing, or in the UK it's council estates. That's more so like relaxed. It's Cockney, but like a little bit more relaxed. But then you cut corners with that kind of slang terms. There's some slang terms. There's East London. That's where the Cockney comes from, actually. East London and the working class. There's and as I said before, with the upbringing, if you were to work in a little bit more middle class, upper class environment, you would be speaking a little bit more so like a little bit posh. Just a little bit posh.
Posh. You call it posh.
Yeah, posh accent.
Okay.
Posh accent.
Are you? May I ask? Are you bothered if other countries mock their accent? For an example, the common one, the water. Like
bottle of water.
Bottle of water,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I've had a lot of experience with that because my friends we're from different countries, so we have this tendency to make fun of each other's as kind of not cultures, but just the little things about the countries.
So it's fine.
Well, for me personally, it depends on the person. That's the thing,
okay.
their personality, or it depends on how they've been brought up as well. So if they've got thicker skin, they will understand. Hopefully they can be critical and reflect about it, and not take it to offense and to heart, because they're used to it. But for the more emotional person, the more less thick skin, they would take offense to it. They would snap immediately and they would react. Yeah.
Oh, so this is my favorite question to ask about British people, because there are words in American that have a different terms in British. For an example, so let me ask you if you know the other terms for this. So in American, they call it French fries. So in British, how would you call it?
Chips.
So if you will order, for example, in a fast food in a non-British country, if you say, can I order burger and chips, they will not understand.
Yes, they won't understand. I've been on, like, I think I'd say 2 holidays with my friends. They completely just forget where they are, and they just remember that they just keep thinking that they're back in England, so they just forget, and it's like, oh, we're here. They don't call it this here. And I'm like, oh, well, you should have thought about that, man. You should have thought about that.
So the next one is cotton candy. What's the other word in British?
Candy floss.
How about apartment?
Flat.
How about garbage?
Trash.
Yeah.
Or the bin, sorry. Garbage bin. That's it.
And also, I think there's also rubbish.
Yeah, bin.
We call it rubbish.
Rubbish or bin.
How about cookie?
Cookie. Biscuit.
In the Philippines, it's different because they are selling cookies. They're selling biscuits. So in the Philippines, cookies is different from biscuit. Yeah, but in London, the cookie, the big cookie, is called biscuit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I can say a cookie. No, because see now we got the Americanization as well.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more fast food places or just food places in general that just call it a cookie but then in my mind a cookie would be or a biscuit. A biscuit would be like a hard, dry, and then you can just snap it and it'll obviously break apart, crumbs. Now a cookie in my mind now, because of this not I think it's really popular in the UK, but Ben's cookies, it's they sell a lot. Their product is, it's just you break open the cookie and it just melts apart.
Oh.
So that's just completely destroyed my perception of cookie or biscuit. And I'm like, okay.
So it's same here. The one how you explained it. That's how I think that's how Filipinos differentiate cookies and biscuit.
Okay.
That's the one. So we also have parking lot.
What was it again?
Parking lot. It says here car park.
Oh yeah, that's it. Car
park.
Yeah, that's it.
And the next one is pants.
Trousers.
And the last one we have windshield.
Windscreen.
So for our viewers out there, we are gaining a lot of knowledge here. Because as you can see, there are other words in British for the terms in American. So this next topic, I've been seeing this in reels, social media, more on social media rather than news.
Okay.
Luxury watches are being stolen in London.
Oh,
They are stealing it forcibly.
Yes. Yeah.
Because in the Philippines, I think hold-uppers will focus on the money rather than the watch. So can you explain if it is real in London?
So, yes, I could say that point is very true.
Yeah,
it's very true. It's more so carefully planned, and also impromptu as well. Mainly because scouts will look on like kind of a high traffic areas or like luxury areas, and then they would be pretty much just looking around, or even people on motorcycles, or we would call them mopeds. They'll be on there just looking around, wearing full face balaclava, masked up, But they'll be looking around, scouting, and then once they see someone walking either by themselves or without a security guard, they'll be like, okay, now let's formulate, and they'll go around the corner again, and then second pass, that's when they'll execute their aggressive takeover of the timepiece, which is sucks because that's not a very good, especially if that's a tourist or a foreigner. They're going to have a really negative perception on safety in London, which then again, it is a melting pot of multi-faiths, multi-ethnic society. So you're always going to have, disagreements. You're always going to be bumping shoulders. So,
This is a very interesting topic for me because I'm a watch guy. I'm not a watch expert, but I really know the brands like Rolex, Patek Philippe, correct me for the pronunciation, Audemars Piguet.
Audemars Piguet.
We also have Richard Mille, and we also have Hamilton, IWC. I don't know if Schaffhausen or Schaffhausen.
I haven't heard of that. I think I've seen it, but I can't.
There are also other luxury brands like Omega as well. So maybe because one day I will get rich and I have one of those watches and I will go to London. So it's scary to lose the watch, right?
Of course.
Yeah. So you're into media as well. Can you tell us more about that?
So it started from my college days. So there's elementary school, which is primary school. That's 6 years, 7 years. Then you get secondary school, which is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 5 years. And then you get 2 years after that, which is college, and then university, which is like 3 years or 4 years, dependent on your course. But that time in college for me, I chose media studies. It was one of my choices there. It was media studies, music technology, and business studies. That's where it started in media. For me to actually open my mind to see all these things in films, music videos. It all kind of came together because coming back to that creative from my Tita Trudy's like her computer with Photoshop. It kind of just just the hobbies, those the interest was like kind of just summing up, like kind of rising up, and then it just all coming together like foundations, building blocks and foundations. So in college, media studies really did open my eyes, and then now in university, well after university, it showed me other like kind of ways to really channel the that creative aspect, the creative flow. So
that's your media side.
Yeah, that's my media side.
I would like to share my story as well, because when I was in high school, I am really not into media.
Okay.
We have science class, 2 science class, and we have journalism class.
Oh.
I was not accepted in science class because of my average, I think.
Oh,
the grade in elementary.
Yeah.
So I was forced to go to the journalism class. Same benefits, you have allowance like that. It's just different studies.
Okay.
And there's one class in English, and then she asked me to report about Jack. Can you turn Jack and Jill, the famous Jack and Jill jingle, to a report? And then I just went. This just in. Jack and Jill went up the hill, and suddenly he fell. Someone like that.
Yeah.
And then in the afternoon, I was called upstairs in the office. Then do you want to go to the nationals for broadcasting competition?
Wow.
I wasn't expecting that, and that changed my life from I think second year high school until I graduate.
Wow.
Yeah, I was the only one that they are picking in that school.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't go to district, division, regional, straight to the nationals.
Wow.
That's where I experienced traveling to other places in the Philippines, not other country,
no,
only
of
in the
course.
Philippines. But it's a very great experience.
That's really good.
Yeah. So for our last question, how do you see Tyro Portugal in the future?
Oh, well, a little bit more introspective here. So for myself, I can see a lot of channeling creative juices, you can say, into something I truly believe I can flourish in. So, kind of like the whole concept of a caterpillar into a butterfly.
Oh.
Yeah. So you cocoon, you're hibernating for a bit. You're taking your first steps as a caterpillar. You cocoon. You take your time to grow, and then you flourish. Now at that point right now, I am cocooning. Like I'm still finding myself, still finding my true calling. But how do I see myself? Was the question, right?
How do you see yourself?
That's how I see myself right now. I'm cocooning, honestly. Like I'm still finding my true calling. But how do I see myself in the future? Now, with the past experiences, I can see myself in a career of consultancy. You can say
Consultancy.
Yeah, because I'm more so like a people person. I like to converse with people. I like to find out a little bit more so about the inner dealings. See how things work, deconstruct things, and then build it back together, but in a better way. Yeah, in my not more so my image, it can be, but that's obviously being a little bit selfish, selfless, whatever. If I'm being selfless, I'd say in the scope of a company, or in the scope of a corporation, whatever, or in the scope of a country, depends. Like I'm just going a little bit more like out of the scope now. Just yeah.
So that's how you see yourself in the future.
Yeah.
Before we finish this podcast, we want to give you something as a token of appreciation. So this is for you.
Oh wow! What's this?
It's a jacket.
Oh wow! Thank you very much. Wow.
And once again, Mr. Tyro, I am honored to have you at my show. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
So once again, viewers, I'm Kyle, and this is Red 7 TV Podcast.